What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Universim Season 5. Coming straight in here, and we have angered yet the... Well, I say they're already angry, right? They're aggressive, so it says we've angered them. It might not be us, but we know it is, because there's only us and them on the map at the minute, as far as I'm aware. So, just because I could, I decided to go and annoy them a little bit by taking out some of the houses that were within the range of the lightning strike. Don't have enough creative points to do 3 though, unfortunately. But never mind. Hopefully, whatever they send our way, they're very how do you put it? They're very prone to sending tornadoes, usually, from my experience. But we shall see if I am right or wrong. Just bring you back, because over here on the left-hand side, you will see where I've put the holy ground. When they build the first residential building on that land, you will get this huge confetti cannon. The first time I heard it, it did make me jump. It's quite cool though, not really any other ability that I'm aware of. And of course, looking at the actual happiness stats, it doesn't give a buff for anything. It's just aesthetics to, I guess, let you know that it has actually been used. Coming into a firestorm with no bunkers. Remember, I decided that I'm going to try and go without them this series. So I have sounded the alarm, or I haven't yet, but I will, and they'll hide in the house as best they can. I'm not aware that this kills off too many, if any, at all nuggets directly, or if it just sets a lot of fires. Luckily, because I left it running a little bit anyway, I do have quite a lot of creative points backed up, and it's only 40 per rain trickle spell. So I've got enough to do about 15 or 18, not sure. I would expect it's not normally more than about, I don't know, 6 or 7 fires maybe, give or take. Again, if you're playing on normal speed, they're very, very delayed. I'm playing on double speed, so you'll see the fires pop up quite quickly. The good thing about this is because it darkens it and I zoom out, they stand out like a sore thumb. It's the fire in the dark. So just while we're waiting for this heat wave to settle down, hopefully you noticed I did post a video before this episode, which would have been yesterday's, and instead of an episode of the game, it was a sort of how-to tips, tricks, etc. of the game. So for those of you that did have a chance to watch that, please do let me know any feedback on it, or if anything's been missed. If it's helped anybody, that's fantastic. But I thought I'd try and just get a bit of information out there to give you some idea of what to expect. I also went through every single spell as well. Hopefully I covered everything I could. So that is over. Everybody can go back to business now. Didn't lose anybody according to the death chart, and didn't really need to use that many creator points, so not too terrible. We do need to fill up the research tree again, or the research queue. Although it is set for auto research, the way that works is a bit odd, and it does it quite slow, so it sort of auto researches every X amount of minutes if you haven't selected something. For me, I keep it full all the time, because the researchers themselves are quite long. And this is the actual tornado from the enemy, the exiles, as I said, tornado. So we will, I did put the dome down in front of it, but it put it on the seafloor, which didn't work. So I can just chuck one here on the edge where the fishing pier is and the pumps. Nice big one, why not? Bats that off, and it carries on going that way. It doesn't come back. Nice and easy to deflect. Okay, so we've unlocked the oil jack. We can now start getting some black gold in, as it's called, or just oil. They do call it black gold, I'm sure they do. Black gold.
Who is this Jack person, and why do they care so much about oil?
Because we need it to do lots of things, sir. That is why. So, nice batch over here, not so much that little one, and that one's too far away. But there's a nice batch of oil actually over in this direction, so we will work to this. I mean, it is a desert, and the desert's usually quite good for oil and gas. And we'll work towards that. Plenty that we'll need. I know we don't need any as yet. The glass factory is only using gas, so it is a case of just stockpiling until we need it. Remember, the power situation is not going to be any combustions at all. It's going to be solar panels, well, windmills and solar panels. So I don't need it for that either. So for now, we'll just put some down, get them steady, only because they were close, to be honest. I would have only put one down if I could, but because there was just so much there, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. And from a firestorm directly into a blizzard. There is a definite increase in the disasters, but of course you expect that because that's what was decided in the settings. Often, and they are pretty often. I have seen it twice now where 2 have been on the, and this is 2 disasters, have been on the calendar up top at the same time. So clearly, definitely more frequent. Now what I did there was just change the weather to spring, to skip the winter. Just so that as soon as we come out of the blizzard, everything will unfreeze immediately and everything can reset. I have got them set to hide in their houses. But to be honest, I can still see people running around, so it doesn't seem to actually make them hide. I mean, if they're not going to hide, and then they're going to die because of it, it's on them, right? Now, I do know that they can freeze into ice blocks. That doesn't kill them, but you have to get them out using the fire spell. That does happen in this case, but it's just basically if the temperature is negative 20 or below, I think, for a certain period of time, the nuggets start freezing. But it does give you a warning in the sense of the noise is quite... There it was. That was the noise that just happened. And yeah, it's quite significant. You can see a block of ice right there in the centre. But as we actually go in to check on them, the weather fixes itself. I don't know if that would have automatically done that with the weather increasing and the temperature going back up. But it doesn't matter because a fire spell fixed it instantly anyway. Now, one thing I don't have is many hospitals. But because I do the whole spamming of healing, I'm not so sure they are that important. Not as important as the fire engines, fire stations, etc. Because they're the plan to move forward. Simply so that when we have that firestorm, maybe I'll be able to not do anything and save my creator points. That's a maybe. I'm not entirely sure they react quick enough yet, but we'll see. And the red beacon in the distance can only mean one thing. Yeah, we have the barn cult. Now, for those of you that know, you know what's going to happen with this. I'm not going to say. We'll wait for the actual video to happen throughout the game as normal. Just in case this is your first season watching the game, though it shouldn't be. There's 4 more to watch before this one, and it'll make a lot more sense if you do. But we'll leave that alone for now, as everybody knows that does know. You just let it do its own thing. I think you get about 5 members of the cult, maybe 7, and they just walk around annoying people. That's it. Nothing more. You can't do anything to them or the building, so we'll just leave it alone for now. Make sure we get the research kept up. And also using some of them discovery points as well. So I am actually going to build some defensive towers. There is a new, there they are, a new exile village city just built across the water from us. Quite close actually, close enough that they'll annoy me when I want to build bridges. And the only way they can attack me is coming around the edge of the, well, I assume so, we'll see, is around this edge here and attack from this area. So what I'll do is get 2 defensive towers down there. I'm not going to bother about the other one because it is so far away. They can attack from multiple directions each time they attack. So this one should be repetitive, I think. It's a bit of science involved because I don't know. But we'll find out when they do attack. And hopefully if they do, it will just be an instant win based on the towers because they usually send 3 to 6 nuggets, and I don't think they'll be able to take down 2 guard towers first. I hope. Just coming back there, you could see that that area had finished being built, but we're really struggling for labourers. So I've pushed it up to 90, just to wait and see if that helps. It has got a couple of them working, but there are a few of the buildings that aren't. So we might have to go on a breed fest, as I'm calling it, you know, the lines. I haven't got that much in terms of creator points, though. I think it's 20 points per, so we can only do 6. Which effectively is 6 to 12 kids if we get lucky with all twins, which I doubt it. So I really need to look at when I get a decent amount of creative points again, doing a whole batch of mass breeding. It's always important as well, by the way, to when you hold the control button, you'll see these pink and blue ones light up. They are not in a relationship, so if you link them up, you're creating a whole new family. And by creating a whole new family, you'll guarantee that they should have children, more than one, over time. Of course, you can force the others that aren't lighting up, which are in relationships, to have children. But it's always a good idea, and what I'm doing from now on anyway, is I make sure that there's no pink or blue beacons first, so that everybody's all in a family. Unless you can't like that cult person. But anyway, just making sure I clear out the families first, and there's no individuals, and then whatever's left I'll use to just double click on all the individuals to make them go and do the business
together.
Got to chuck down another couple of farms. These are going to be for herbs only. You can see at the bottom the herbs are running low, only 13. It's very rare I actually run out, but that's because of the lack of labourers, I think. There's also some buildings being built on the outskirts that aren't being repaired. But even that, the engineers' huts themselves aren't being populated because, again, as per previous, we don't have enough spare labourers. Just bring you back, so I'm trying this holy ground thing. Now, it's strange. You can't build the buildings on the mountains yourself. But if you put that down on the mountain, they will build on the mountain. That was a terrible sentence, but you know what I mean. It seems that they will build up the mountain with their houses, and because you can't, or we can't build on them anyway, save space, right? Because if it lets them, or they build them themselves. So I'm sciencing it. If I get a definitive, I'll let you know. Obviously you can't just plonk it straight on top of the mountain. It does have, as you just saw, the it goes red to tell you can't do that. But if you can get it to go a bit on the mountain, they will actually build the houses on the mountain where you can't, and therefore saving yourself some space. And I'm going to move on from this now because I'm sick of the word mountain. Another arsehole. Sorry, I mean exile. Sending us another tornado. And bounced back by the dome as always. And we never see it again. We now have the fire station, so you know what that means. We need to get them down. Nice and easy to spread out. Big green circle.
Finally build something to help put out your fires, creator.
This guy, really helpful as always. Only tells you about it when it's actually happening or it's already happened. But yeah, I'm just going to go around the entire city, catch up with where we're at, make sure everywhere is covered. On the radar at the top, you can see we do have another heat wave inferno thing coming in very soon, next season. And I'm hoping that if any of these are built, they may be able to put fires out for me. Though, to be honest, with the amount of creative points I've got, as soon as I see the flames, I put them out. So I don't think they'll get a chance. But in case of emergencies where I don't have the creative points, I need them to take charge. I'm going to try and squeeze one in over here because this is where we just plopped that land for the houses that I'm hoping they build up the mountain. Some mountain cottages would look nice, but not if they burn down. Hashtag breeding program. So I got them points out. As I said, we've got some of the fire stations built. Not all, but some. And that's a lot of new families created there. 23, in fact. So it's definitely progress for the population. We're desperate for nuggets now. There's not much point me building anything else, or at least setting up any more infrastructures, because we don't have any nuggets to run them anyway, and we wouldn't be able to get them built because the nuggets are just too slow at moving the resources around. Just unlocked electricity going into that quest, but then we get distracted or interrupted by the cult. And as that rocket is indeed mid-flight, we'll jump straight in to carry on with the quest, because we are on a time limit after all. 9 minutes remaining, but we also have the Inferno coming in 1 minute and 15 seconds. Place the batteries the first thing. The next step, of course, is to find all 3 of the parts. Looking for the colourful plumes of smoke. They can be anywhere on the planet. We already know this. So I'll just whiz around and get those. And there we go. Even managed to find them in the midst of the Inferno redness. This smoke still stood out. And then lightning strike the battery to get it charged up. And jobs are good. Now we just need to mitigate some of these fires, because we do have some fire stations, but most of them are not completed yet. And the ones that are not fully staffed because of the same problems that we've had since the episode started, really. Okay, with that drama out of the way, we're back to normal now, and we do in fact have the ability to build our first power source, which is the windmill. For a change, I decided what I'm going to do is just place them around where there's gaps, to be honest. They're quite small. So the idea is that while we've got all of these buildings building up and around and the city building up, you'll just have windmills popped around as well. There is no downside to wherever you put them. The wind's not a thing. It's just they're working or they're not. You can't surround them by buildings and block the wind or anything. So just going to plop them around like this. Just see aesthetically if it looks any nicer. Something different. I like to change it on each playthrough because nobody wants to see just the same thing over and over again. Now, this is one of the roadblocks that we've hit before, and I'm not sure if you guys get them too, but every now and again you get a roadblock, and mine is wood and then wooden planks. So although I've got 30 wooden planks and 0 wood, I need about 100 wooden planks for buildings to be upgraded or currently built. I'm then struggling with the actual staff of these. So these are the farms I built at the beginning, but no longer actually have anybody running them. Or they're not fully stocked, not fully staffed, sorry. Anyway. So you can see there is an issue here that is just being exacerbated by continuing to build new things or upgrading new things. So what I'm actually going to do is take a step back and see what I can actually achieve. Okay, so this is quite a lot in the front. You'll see that the resource, I left it a little bit longer than I expected. It's been like 30 days or something ridiculous. And yeah, I was just wasting my creative points as they were building up on trees. Lots and lots of trees for days. But then I didn't realise that now every time I play something, we've got to knock all the trees down to build it. So it's actually slowed me down. I'm an idiot, but it happens. There is a pyramid there too as well. Again, I unlock that as soon as I get into the medieval age because of registering for at the beginning of the game, the top right hand corner. It's in the tutorial. Weird stats looking. I don't know what's happening with the stats. I've got negative space because I haven't got enough warehouses. So I'll get some shut down. It's not a problem. I don't know where the resources are. I would imagine they're just on the floor. But why it then says negative, I've never seen it say negative before. But who knows? So just unlock the courier, which means we're going to get the overpack quest. Nice and easy. And if you notice, again, looking at the wood down at the bottom, 1300. This is the advantage of having all of them trees. Because we're cutting all these trees down to place all these buildings, they then become storage. So now I've got wood for days. Still got plenty of points, but you can only put so many trees down in an area. It won't let you go any more than that. All I need to do is try and remember to keep shoving them into the logging area, the forestry thing, because it doesn't look like they plant trees. Normally, with any other game, you would get them. Now, just to jump ahead, you see when I put this one parcel in, completes the quest. So, little cheese for you there, because there's supposed to be 5 parcels. If you put your courier's hut to start the quest somewhere where it can't spawn them, you get an easy one like that. So I only had to deliver 1 parcel, and now that courier was instant built and all the trees were cleared out. Nicely done. Moving forward on the research now, going towards the prison and or rehabilitation centre. Now looking like perfect timing. I like to upgrade my water stuff in the winter. Just coming out of winter, and you can see they're all, well, the ones on the right anyway are starting to finish, so this shouldn't be an issue, and we won't have lost any time. Just because of how I do it. There is some water wheels there to the left, but they haven't got to them yet, so it's fine. As long as you've got a few going, I don't imagine I'll run out of water that fast. But we are at time now, so thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. Any comments are welcome as always. Subscribe for more. English is my first language, I promise. Join us on Discord. Take care. Goodbye.